Nets have been cut down. Banners will be raised. This amazing UB basketball season continues. Coming up on the UB Basketball Insider Show, we'll talk with the head coaches Nate Oates and Felicia Legette-Jack. And if that's not enough, what should be an amazing football season actually gets started this weekend. We'll get the latest on the beginning of spring football. It is time to slam dunk the start of UB Basketball Insider.
You will take it!
We didn't give up. We kept fighting.
Every single possession!
We just got to figure out a way to win a game.
Basketball fans, on your feet. Here come your Bulls.
Stolen by Massenberg, dunked for the right hand. Flashy no-look pass over to Summerhead.
Wilkins three, good.
McRae the follow dunk. Sensational move from the freshman.
And welcome inside Alumni Arena for this special edition of the UB Basketball Insider Show. It seems fitting, Nate, that we're just a few feet away from where you were cutting a net down on this basket behind us just a couple of days ago. I'm sure that's a memory that never gets old and something that you'll never forget.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you talk about winning championships, you seal the championship, you're able to celebrate it with the fans. The fans have been unbelievable this year. They've been filling up Alumni almost every night. So, yeah, it was great, and we were able to do it on senior night, so you kind of had both things going that night.
Yeah, you had all the pieces fall in place. A big win, a big crowd, honor your seniors, Akenna and Gabe, and, of course, Wes, and then run them right down to the other end of the court to start cutting the nets down, which hasn't happened a lot here in this building. So it was a pretty cool moment, and I think the fans really enjoyed seeing that, and I know we saw a little emotion out of some of your guys as well, too.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talk about winning championships. We're trying to win 2 of the regular season. We've never won the regular season outright here. So, you know, and the last time we shared it, it was like a 3-way tie at 12-6. So this is a little bit better this year. So that was great. But we got to get back to playing our best basketball and look forward to the conference tournament here coming up next week.
Yeah, and of course that win clinched over Akron, clinched the #1 seed for Nate and the Bulls. I thought one of the really cool moments of all of that ceremony was not only just the connection you have had with Wes Clark to be able to honor him, but somehow you kept secret that you got his mom in town for everything too.
Yeah, she wasn't going to make it, and I talked to her, and she was, I'm like, kind of big deal if you can get him here or if you can get out here. So she decided she's going to call him and we'd keep it a surprise. So she hung out in my office all afternoon. I think she got in like middle of the afternoon. So she hung out, watched some TV up there, and then watched the game from up above where he couldn't see her, and then snuck down there right before I think 5-10 seconds.
So he didn't even know she was there until the senior ceremony began?
Yeah.
That's great.
They got flat. Because I said to him the afternoon, I'm like, look, is your dad coming? Knowing full well that he wasn't. I talked to him, and then his dad was at the BG game last night. But then I said, what about your mom? He's like, nah, she can't make it either. I said, what do you want to do? He goes, you can walk me out. He goes, I said, all right, that's cool. I'll walk you out then. So that was the afternoon of the game, and I knew his mom was coming in. So we kept her up in the stands, and then she came down right when they were about to introduce him and handed her the flowers.
That's great.
She said he about made him cry. So that was cool. That was a good time.
That is great. All right, so now the focus is shifting, and it's shifting to Cleveland, where you will be the #1 seed. You're going to play your first game on Thursday at noon. You've been there before. You've won before. You got a couple of guys in CJ and Nick Perkins who have been part of that win in Cleveland before. What's the message to the rest of the guys who haven't been there, and how much will you lean on those 2 guys to make sure their teammates know what it's going to take?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you got a little more. These games are a little more pressure because if you lose, you're done. But it's still basketball. I don't know that those guys are going to be able to tell. I mean, they're going to lead. It's going to be a high-intensity game. It's not like, Javon won a state championship last year. He's been in high-intensity games before. Wes Clark won a state championship with me before. He's been in SEC tournament games. These guys have played in big games before. It's just a little bit different environment. It's in Cleveland. So CJ and Nick have won it, though, before. They can go back. They've been in the same arena and won it. So it's a little bit more leadership there. Ikenna's won it before. So hopefully, those guys bring a little leadership, play with a little more poise, maybe at least out of the gate in the first game. Once you get that first one under your belt and get the win, I think it gets a little bit easier, though.
Are you I know the answer to the question is you're never satisfied, but I guess what I was going to ask you is, are you satisfied with where your team is at right now as you head to these huge important games.
Yeah, I think our mindset's right. We'll see how we play. Our defense needs to be as good as it's been all year. I think your defense can carry you from game to game. Hopefully we shoot it well, but I told them you can't rely on that every night. So just make sure our focus is where it's at, our effort's where it needs to be, and everything else will take care of itself. So I like our attitude right now. I like our mindset. I think we're playing good basketball and we're ready to roll.
All right, it all gets started on Thursday at noon in the Quicken Loans Arena as Nate's #1 seeded Bulls get started in the Mid-American Conference Tournament.
Coming up, head coach Felicia Legette-Jack previews today's senior day as the Bulls are set to say goodbye to 5 special players. That's next on UB Basketball Insider.
Tenacity, ambition, purpose. Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by CEFCU, changing lives every day.
Welcome back to the UB Basketball Insider Show from Alumni Arena. My name is Paul Peck. Final home game of the season for the UB women's team is today, a 2 o'clock tip-off against Bowling Green. It's senior day, so it figures to be an emotional day for the Bulls' emotional leader.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Reed. I'm a senior at point guard on the UB women's basketball team. I mean, it's been a really fun ride. I think that I've grown a lot as a person and a player. I think that that's a lot credit to the coaches, Coach Jack. I think it's just gotten better every year, and I think that's really helped me grow on the court. I feel like the game's just kind of grown natural to me. I feel that now I'm able to read the game more. I think, when I was home, it's practice every couple of days. Now playing the game every day, you get that rhythm, you get that sense of idea of what you're doing and why. And, I think that building that repetition, it's just made me a better player because now I can read the game a lot better, and I think that I've become a lot more athletic since being here.
Top of the key, three-pointer by Santucci is no good, rebounded by Stephanie Reed. Here comes Reed on the run. Reed into the lane, all the way, good, pounded, and the foul!
Being a point guard, I'd have to naturally be a leader on the court. But, I feel like I've learned now and I've really stepped up to the role of learning all of what Coach Jack has to offer and then being able to help others to understand it. I mean, we've got a lot of balance. There's a lot of people on the court now that can handle the ball, and that's absolutely the most helpful thing for me because it takes so much pressure off me and it allows me to run. And I mean, if you've seen practice, I love to run, so it's just going to be good to see us pushing the ball. We're pushing it with the pass this year, so it's going down the other team's throat.
Here come the Bulls. Reed behind the back dribble, off to Ups, layup, good!
There you go!
And that's a record for Stephanie Reed.
I think this is a group that's going to demand respect. I think that we're going to demand respect from our opponent. We're going to demand respect from Buffalo, and I mean, we've already got that, but we're going to demand it more. And the MAC, we're going to demand respect from them. And now we're coming in with expectations on our shoulders, so we can only rise to them. And, if we rise to those expectations, there is no limit to where we can go. This year is the year. I think that we've had great teams in the past, great players, but this year, with the dynamic, with the chemistry, and with the players that we've got on our team, there is no reason that we can't go further than the first round of the NCAA.
With Bulls women's basketball coach Felicia Legette-Jack, I know that later today, following the game against Bowling Green, it's going to be a pretty emotional moment for a lot of people here on senior day, and you especially, and to have to say somewhat of a goodbye to players like Stephanie Reed, Cassie Ausler, Catherine and Lisa Ups, and Mariah Suchan. I don't know, are you going to be able to hold any of the tears in for us?
Well, we're going to look at it as a celebration. I've been speaking to some of my colleagues across the country on, how do you deal with senior day when you think that your season's not over yet and you think that there's a postseason for you. And the consensus was it's just you go out and you celebrate, you enjoy each other, but you don't get too emotional to the point where it zaps you out of everything. And so my hope is that I can control it to the point where, yeah, it's going to be a tier or two, but it's not going to be like it's over, because these seniors have taken us to from 11 wins to now, right now we're holding steady at 24 and more to come. So I think that we got a lot more basketball to play.
24-4, 15-2 in the MAC. That's a school record for overall wins. It's a school record for wins on the road. And the season wraps up today. A 2 p.m. tip-off here against Bowling Green that you can see on ESPN3 or you can listen to on ESPN 1520. And then the Senior Day events will come afterwards right here at Alumni Arena. It's such a great group of ladies who have meant so much to this program. Does that make it harder or easier to have an event like you will later today?
Cosita, academic All-American first team, Catherine Ups, Stephanie in the top 10 in the country, and assist turnover. Cassie Ausler, arguably one of the better centers out in the country. I'm smitten by these young ladies. They're not just athletes, they are CAPs. Character first, academic second, and then basketball. To say that and to get that and to really become that over the last 4 years, I am just in awe of how these young ladies have grown me and brought my love back to the game to really incorporate such a feeling of winning in Buffalo to the point now that it's not a spot that you can possibly come. It's a destination. Oh, man, it goes on. And I think now the future's bright for this program because of those young ladies.
I want to touch on a couple, particularly the game a week ago here at Alumni Arena against Ohio, because what Summer Hemphill did in getting 23 rebounds to set a Division I record here, one shy of the Mid-American Conference record. I tapped into some of my sources at our old alma mater just out of curiosity to find out if another all-time great rebounder had ever had 20 rebounds in a game, and Summer's got you by a couple.
At least like 10. I tell you, and that says a little bit about our future. She's a sophomore, and she's growing into that confidence. She's growing into that player. She's growing into that leadership role where sometimes it has to be you to make things happen, for us to have success. Without Summer going after every rebound, I'm not certain if we're going to beat Ohio that day because we were weird that game. And so seeing what her and Tessie has been doing for our future and throwing Hannah out there early in that particular game, it says a little bit about our future. And I think our seniors have really made our younger players feel like they too can become.
All right, so the MAC tournament's going to start for you on Wednesday in Cleveland. I got to assume you like where this team is at. You like the fact that they know what they need to do in that stretch of 3 games in 4 days.
We're just taking it one game at a time. We're just really excited about the ability to play. And I tell you, it just kind of went by so fast. I mean, we've been on the road a lot. We've gotten to know each other so well. We just really, we love each other, I love them, they love me. We're in the foxhole together. Last game we played, I had some things going on with my mom, and I didn't know if I can, nobody noticed that, but I got 2 texts from my players saying, Coach, there's something not right with you right now. We're here for you as well. And so we're not going to rush this thing. We're not going to say 3 games and it's over and we win. We just want to take this day by day, game by game, and really continue to enjoy the team that we have. And hopefully it goes well into the postseason.
All right, get out and show Felicia and the team some love today, 2 o'clock against Bowling Green. Senior Day festivities afterwards, and make sure you get out to Cleveland to see all the fun that's going to happen for Felicia and the team there. Thanks for your time, Coach.
God bless.
Spring football is right around the corner, and that brings a close to a very successful winter conditioning program. We'll talk about that and the 2018 football schedule when UB Basketball Insider returns. Buffalo sports fans, get to Alumni Arena on Saturday, March 3rd as the UB women's basketball team is set to host Bowling Green. Tip-off is at 2 p.m.
As Reed knifes her way through, no look, way up and in!
It's the final regular season home game for the Bulls, and the team will celebrate the 5 members of their senior class. Get your tickets today and let's make Alumni Arena loud. To order, call 877-UB there or visit UBBowls.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Welcome back to the UB Basketball Insider Show from here at Alumni Arena. It's time to talk a little football because spring football for the Bulls begins this weekend. So that means winter conditioning has ended. But based on how much fun the Bulls have had under their new strength and conditioning coach, they may be the first football team ever to be sad that winter workouts have ended.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
This week we have to finish, and finishing is probably my #1 concern right now. We have to harness our total energy at the end. Everyone can start fast, everyone can do their job early on because no one's tired. Everyone now has to be accountable when they're fatigued. That's what we're looking for. It doesn't matter how much you bench or squat, it matters if you can be accountable when you're fatigued.
I mean, he's very well-rounded. He brings a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. I think he's more really a family guy. Like I said, we do a lot of team activities. Competition, we do a lot of competition. He pushes us. I think it's effort. He pushes us to things like to a limit that that we didn't know that we can go. So like I said, he's really pushing us. Competition and just pushing us to our limit. So because you never know how much it's going to be to win the game. Everything, even last year, we were talking about, just the difference like this much. We know we got a lot of hype around us this year. We just want to go out there and prove to ourselves, that we can be a bowl team, we can be a MAC champ team.
The first week, they had a lot of energy. They really did. I did not think it would last this long. Week 4 started, and I was kind of worried a little bit on how they would come in because, the work is picked up and the excitement's not really there anymore. It got better. The work they are starting to do is getting better, and the energy they're bringing every day, they're all competing to be the best group of the day. So it's contagious now, and it's like a competition who can bring the most energy.
He's pushing us. He definitely bring us closer as a family, so we can play for each other, and we working our butts off for real. We're definitely excited, ready to get out there, get better, and get this thing going.
This past Tuesday, the UB men's basketball team clinched at least a share of the Mid-American Conference regular season title with an 80-68 win over Akron. The Bulls improved to 22-8 on the season and set a program record with 14 conference wins. Afterwards, the players and coaches cut down the nets in celebration of their accomplishments this year. But the Bulls celebrated more than just the win on Tuesday night. It was the final home game of the regular season, and the team, friends, and family and capacity crowd said their goodbyes to seniors Wes Clark, Kenneth Smart, and Gabe Agaridge. All three were able to find the scoring column in the contest, and after the game were honored for their contributions to the men's basketball program. For his part, Wes Clark finished with 18 points and 5 assists in his final game at Alumni Arena. The Bulls will be the #1 seed in the upcoming MAC tournament and heading to Cleveland looking for their 3rd title in 4 years. For information on the MAC tournament schedule, visit ubbulls.com. Coming up, UB has been in the national spotlight this week following a big half-court shot by one of the Bulls' biggest fans. That's next on UB Basketball Insider.
For nearly 100 years, ECMC has brought hope and healing to Western New York. I'm living proof, and I couldn't be more grateful. Like cancer, we all hope trauma will never happen to us. But when it does, we can rely on ECMC to always be there. I hope you join me to be there for them and help them build their new state-of-the-art trauma center and emergency department. Visit supportecmctrauma.org to help learn how you can support life-saving care.
Tenacity, ambition, purpose. Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
This is UB Basketball Insider, presented by ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care.
Welcome back to the UB Basketball Insider Show. Who would have imagined in a season of incredible plays and incredible highlights from both the men's and women's basketball team that one of the most memorable moments at Alumni Arena would involve a True Blue member and a half-court shot?
We begin, as we do nightly, with the best thing I saw today, which comes to us tonight from the UB-Akron game. UB beat Akron. That's Buffalo, by the way. That's Kyle Hughes, buckets! And Kyle is, wow, 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 wow! Yeah! Come on, Kyle! Wow! Oh. Huh? Oh. Yeah! Wow, wow, wow! All right. Come on. You mean cartwheel? I mean, hold on, come on. Wow, wow, wow!
Well, right now, let's take one more quick look back at this incredible men's basketball season. The Bulls are the Mid-American Conference regular season champions.
For a right wing three, got it right away. Massenberg lobs it for Graves and a two-hand dunk. What a pass!
Don't forget, the women are home for their finale later today, 2 p.m. against Bowling Green, with the Senior Day festivities to follow after the game. And then everybody packs up and heads to Cleveland. The women will play on Wednesday in the Mid-American Conference Tournament. The men will tip off on Thursday at noon. We hope to see you here today, and we certainly hope to see you to do a little more celebrating in Cleveland. Thanks for watching this edition of the UB Basketball Insider Show.